Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today is another episode in our series. I feel like we got like 4 or 5 of these episodes under our belt. We have Kathleen Tepley on the line, and she's founder of Los Angeles Consulting Group. Kathleen, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Adam. What trouble have you been causing in this summer? And
Oh
happy to be
my
back.
Oh my gosh. So I'm glad to have you on. I know in August we kind of skipped a month intentionally for the summer and now we're getting back in action. And I looked at your September calendar, which we're going to get into in a moment, and I'm like, you are busy, busy, busy. First off though, how was the summer? What's going on with you?
It was extremely exciting to spend more time. Some of the listeners or community members know I evolve around the globe, but mostly Minnesota and Los Angeles. And a couple times a year, I get to go home for an extended period to work
Mm.
on some of these upcoming events. And since the end of June, we have been in Minnesota the majority of the time, creating, drafting, building, talking to the community, and building out these events. And we get to launch it this Thursday, September 5th. So we're so excited to share with you and the listeners.
It's amazing. So this summer, one of my highlights was I went to see my mom. I brought her on the show for like the second or third time in my life. Oh my gosh, she's
Oh my
so
gosh.
funny.
Oh
She
my gosh.
told this story. Oh, she's hilarious. She's a ham too, Kathleen. I tell you. So we go there, and I'm starting to interview her. And as soon as I even bring up interview, she's like, "I gotta go put on my lipstick." And I'm like, "Okay, mom, dang." I said, "This is audio." I said, "This is just an audio." She's like, "I don't care. I need my lipstick." So she's telling these stories of when I was a kid and just all this random stuff. And I'm like, "All right, mom, yeah, we're gonna get you your own show before this is all said and done."
I love it. I love it.
And guess who's gonna be a guest? You, because I'm gonna be like, my Kathleen's coming on. Don't worry.
I would love that. And I would love to listen to it. So I'll go find the recording. I'm so excited to meet your mom on the podcast. I would love that.
Yeah, she's hilarious. She's a lot of fun. So that was one of my highlights. And now we're with September. I feel like the traffic in LA is, you can tell that the kids are back to school, or many of them are, I say. I went to the beach on Labor Day and it wasn't quite that packed. And I'm like, oh, well, Burning Man might have had something to do with that just a little, but it wasn't quite as packed. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're getting into the fall, getting into September. It's happening whether I wanted to or not, huh?
And you are in denial about September. So it is September 3rd. This is so exciting.
Yes. So let's start getting into we're going to get into the events, but just kind of a brief overview for those that maybe haven't been following this series up to this point and they don't know exactly. So I'll let everybody know. So once a month, Kathleen comes on with the Los Angeles Consulting Group, and we talk about the events, we talk about the organization, what's interesting, what's going on. And I mean, when I talk about interesting and things that are going on, you're going to see in a moment when we start getting into the events, like what an amazing organization this is. But Kathleen, just for those that have not heard or are not familiar with Los Angeles Consulting Group, maybe just a little bit of background.
I'd love that. What's exciting about the company and being a part of the company is we are a global advisory firm that provides outsource support, which includes these incredible events for the family office, investor, private equity, and professional service arena. And this year, our focus is on resiliency and empowering. And we feel that we've really accomplished that January through the end of June. We did 76 events, and now we're looking forward to launching September with the new schedule. This is what I
Did you
get to
say, hold
say.
on, 76? Did I hear that? Come on, you can't just drop that and move on like that's not a big deal. That's an enormous amount of events.
Well, we not only do we produce and create events,
Mm-hmm.
I always tell the community we're not an event company, but
Yeah.
we believe in growth tactics. You guys too. You and Chirag believe in it too. It's the amazing way to build out the network of people that you should
Mm-hmm.
know, like, and trust is by networking. And many times when you network, it's just you might meet 1 to 5 people and they may or may not be within your growth strategy. Well, we get to do this every day and curate the events specifically. So we know that our attendees, like you, when you came to our event, is we know what you're looking for and we're happy to go around and make those introductions. So with our focus of resiliency and empowering, we have several events that either we've produced, meaning we've created it, built it, populated it, or we support another event. And the reason why we're supporting it is because we want to give an opportunity to people like you and Chirag, your listeners, and our global community to attend.
Yeah.
And that's why I love doing what I do every day.
It's amazing. And I know you said about some of your beliefs about bringing the community together and other things like that, which I agree with all that. But even more so above that, I believe in giving Chirag work to do on my end. I just want him to go do stuff. So I like to, he has me recording all day. That's it. My part of the deal. Okay. This is what I do. His part of the deal is go do stuff.
I love it. I love it. A lot of work. I mean, what you do and what you just explained to me before we started recording with how you have to gather everything to go from place to place is unbelievable. Your tools of the trade. Unbelievable.
All good there. Well, let's dive into some of these events and maybe just kind of high level before we get into the specific events. I understand that there's different, and just for the audience and for everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely have the LosAngelesConsultingGroup.com website in the show notes. So you can just click on this and then you can click on the event section and then you'll see the different events. And, you know, some of them you have to apply to attend and some of them are for investors. Some of them are for different audiences, and maybe start with that pretty high level, Kathleen, just kind of like the types of individuals and why. I just want when people go to the website, they're going to see why it says apply to attend for some of them. That's all.
Absolutely. So as we go through this list, when we look at the qualified attendees, we want to make sure you're attending the right events. Heath Goldman, who's been a former guest and not joining us today, used to say it's a 5-legged stool. And it is a 5-legged stool. It's, like I mentioned before, family offices, which is multi-generational, investors, family-run businesses, private equity, venture, and I'm going to say the ultra high net worth or high net worth person that has maybe gone through a liquidity event. So some of these events are appropriate for them. But the goal is if somebody applies, we take such special care in making sure you're at the right event.
Yeah.
If you've applied to attend an event and it's not appropriate for them, we'll recommend a different event and I'll personally call and make sure that they know of another event. The goal is to empower you. We want to get you there, Adam. Chirag comes from time to time, and our goal is just to make sure you're meeting great people. And if you're fundraising or you're looking for support for your multi-generational family member, these events are a conduit to building those relationships.
Amazing. All right, let's dive right in. So where do you want to start with this? I know we have quite a few on here. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with this week. We kick off this week with a couple of webinars because I am in Minnesota and people have just been chomping at the bit to get back to it. We created 2 amazing webinars. One is an educational event on the Capital European Citizen by Investor webinar. This is hosted and educated by Vita Capital, and it's to learn about the Golden Visa program and how it can be your gateway to European citizenship. A lot of our family offices and our investors are looking for those different tactics that they can use. And we have several different educational programs that are out there. This is the one that we love. And so Vita just had one last week. We had full seats and no room for additional guests. So we decided to have another one. Then that will be, again, the 5th at 10 a.m. And then at 11 a.m., we have another incredible, how do I say it, influencer in the entertainment space that decided to put and create this incredible private investor opportunity. And it's Gameplay Network, David Marshall. And we're excited to share this. It's unique legal gaming, mobile gaming. And I learn something every time I hear him chat about this. So that's at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So please feel free to go to the website and register to join. The great thing is I will be facilitating the call and making sure you meet everybody that also attends.
It's wonderful. And then you're going to France? Am I reading this right? Come on.
I
What's
will
going
not
on
be
here?
I will not be joining this year, but this is the third year we've supported the Global Family Office community. It is
Hmm.
a membership organization out of London. We are their US representative. We
Hmm.
probably put on 25 private events for GFOC. We
Hmm.
just got back from LA and from San Francisco. I know I said I was away, but I snuck back for 2 weeks
Oh,
and
it
we
comes out. You see how she does that, everyone? First, she's like, "Oh, I've been gone. I've been gone." No, she came back. Okay,
I
go
just
ahead.
snuck back
Oh,
because
the
Vahe
fibs
was
come out. The more you get into the calendar, go ahead.
we manipulated it, but this one was incredible because Vahe was in the US and we
Mm,
did a private dinner in LA at a member's home. In San Francisco, we did a private dinner. And then we also did an educational event on family legacy in Palo
mm,
Alto. And it was incredible. For 2 weeks, it felt like we accomplished a lot. So this is an
mm,
extension of that. We're
mm-hmm,
now taking the families and the principals of the family offices to France,
mm,
Provence, France, and we privatize a venue there. And again, when I say we, it's a proverbial global family office community. Vahe is the one
mm-hmm,
that has been doing this. And we just are excited to support it and offer it to our principals in the family office community. So
mm,
for 3 days, husband and wives and children can come and listen to these qualified speakers. They have private dinners, wine tastings within a 3 day period. Again, it's secure, it's private, there's no other
mm-hmm,
guests. So that
mm.
next year I will be going. I promise you I'll get my passport and I'll go next year.
Dang, that sounds fun.
So that's September 8th through the 10th.
Hmm. And then now looking at some of the other stuff, I think later in the month you have some more another webinar, Crafting Legacy through Multifamily Real Estate, and that's Crossbeam. I think you've been working with them for a while, right? I've heard that name multiple times. They're
I
amazing
love
partners for you guys.
I
Hmm.
love these guys. Brad came out of retirement
Yeah.
to solve the workforce housing. Him and his partner Ted Kerr and all the team, Meg and Matthew over at Crossbeam. These guys are incredible. Not only do they have the workforce housing initiative, but they have others, and they're just great partners for our multifamily real estate community.
Hmm.
And because they were sponsors and speakers at the Lido Family Office Real Estate Symposium in April, we're
Hmm.
extending this to a webinar, and it will be facilitated and moderated by Greg Kushner and Alyssa Weinberger of Lido Advisors. I've worked
Hmm.
with them for 20 plus years, and I just love these guys. They do incredible family office events, webinars. They have a Pepperdine program, and they've invited Crossbeam to share their crafting legacy through multi-family real estate on September 19th. That's Thursday, September 19th at 11 a.m.
And then you're moving back to Universal, yeah? You're coming back.
We are, and I can't believe how this is coming together. So twice a year we do different initiatives where we partner with ACG 101. The
Hmm.
last one is a real estate event in May, and that was incredible. We had a lot of great speakers. Crossbeam was one of our speakers.
Hmm.
Now this one is a family office wealth conference. I'm working with the executive committee. Heath Goldman's on that. We've also got Morton Capital's people. Mike over at Morton Capital is also helping us with this. But I'm excited because I get to invite all the family offices. We've got keynote speakers such as Meta World Peace. We've got Matthew Lowe. We've got Walter O'Brien, Ari
Mm.
Bass. These are all legacy family members that have family
Wow.
offices. And maybe they've come from the entertainment space, or
Mm.
Meta was an athlete and is now an entrepreneur, and they're going to be speaking in front of this group. So there are a
Mm.
couple of sponsorships opportunities left. We do have an industry update available. If you're interested in sponsoring, please let us know. Go to the website, email me, or if you want to attend, please apply
Hmm.
to attend. I will be there. I will be curating introductions throughout the event. And
Mm.
that is on the 19th at 4 p.m. at the Universal Sheraton. Make sure you've registered to attend and
Yeah,
get
it's
your
a
seat.
beautiful location too. I've been to that one. That's really nice. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
going to be fun.
very excited.
Jets and Capital. First off, that needs to be a podcast. I think you need to tell them if they don't have it already. Like I'm interested in launching that
Come,
one. So you take
come,
that and Jet,
come
but
with
isn't that a
me.
great, hold on, but isn't that a great, it looks like a podcast. If you look at her web, if go to the website, everybody listening to this, losangelesconsultinggroup.com, click on the events, looks like a podcast cover already. Jets and Capital. If you took off that bottom piece that has the September 20th, 2024, and if you just put the host name, hosted by, who are the partners there? What are their names?
So the family office, Jordan Hutchinson and his
There you go.
father,
Hosted by Jordan, and what's his dad's name?
is
Oh, it's
I
okay. I'm putting you on the
I know
spot.
I'm blanking here. I'm blanking here,
Ah, it's okay. But
it, but
that's it. Jets
Blue
and
Ocean
Capital,
Capital,
hosted by Jordan. Go ahead.
Jordan and his father's flying in for this. What's
Mm,
exciting is next generation. Jordan's
mm,
father, who was the original founder of their family office,
hmm.
had transitioned over to his philanthropy interest, which was human capital, so human stealing of children. And
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
he is now focused for the last 15, 20 years on going on these missions and building out this
Wow.
nonprofit and helping rescue children in human trafficking. So
Wow.
that's been his focus. So he comes back for Jordan's Jets and Capital events. The last one was in Texas.
Mm,
They had over 150 investors that came on the GP side and the LP side. And
hmm.
I'm excited because I'm going to go and curate introductions throughout the event. We've
Mm,
got clients coming, such as Crossbeam Capital. Brad Blash is
hmm.
speaking. I've got a lot of our investors. And what's hard about an event like that is you're looking
Hmm.
at these incredible jets, these incredible
Oh,
cars.
that
You're in
sounds
this,
hard. Can you get to the hard
right?
part, please, Kathleen? Oh, yes,
Who do
it's a
you
tough
talk
life.
to?
I
Who do you
mean,
talk to? Like, who do you talk
oh,
to?
oh yeah.
How do
So
you
instead of that, you go to the south of France because then it's easier to talk to people, right? Oh, poor you.
well, we'll be there to support, make sure people get to know one another and just
Yeah.
enjoy themselves. And also, I want to make sure that we hear from Jordan's father about his nonprofit and how we can all get involved and help and make a difference in human trafficking.
No, it's a great thing. I didn't know about the other side of that. That's awesome. I still think it's a podcast cover though. You can let Jordan know I said that. Jets and Capital podcast coming to you. I haven't seen that name out there yet.
Hey,
That's a
you want to come?
podcast.
You can do a podcast
I
live from
I
Salt Lake
might.
City, Utah.
Oh, I want to do that. You know what, Kathleen? Actually, so I covered the Korea conference recently, and
Okay.
I'm inside the yacht, and I have like in the background, you could see the all the set, everything else. Like you can see when we're going, you can see all the water in the background. I'm doing all these interviews. I haven't done one from a jet. That's what we need. We need to make this happen. I want to do some interviews over there. You let them know. Jets in Capital podcast. I'm in.
Happy to have you, and I would support you on
Uh,
that. So September 20th would be very excited to have people apply, and we'll
mhm.
navigate and curate the support it. And in the
Mm.
meantime, we'll keep Jordan's father's name private, but
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the
yeah,
event,
yeah.
you'll be able to meet him in
Yeah.
person.
That's amazing. All right, let's see what's next here. So we got cocktails and conversations.
Yes, this is exciting to me. One of the things that I think you and I and even Shirag really focus on, it's about next gens. What are we going to
Mm,
do to support our next gens? Well, in the family office space, family run business space, there are a lot of next gens that either are going to take over the family run business or take over the family offices, but they want a peer to peer network.
mm,
So, Next Gen Nexus, Alan Esrock founded this organization. We've been supporting them now for about 6 years, and he asked if LACG would be open to producing an event
mm.
for Next Gen Nexus and California Bank and Trust. And we said, absolutely. So we
Wow.
are creating a very special event at the private home of Dr. Lee Hausner in
Hmm.
Westwood. And if you are interested in attending this cocktails and conversation on Monday, September 23rd, please go to the website and register because
Mm.
this is going to fill up fast
Oh
and
yeah,
this
no.
will be incredible. And Heath Goldman will be coming and pouring wine and treating us to
And Heath is good at
sushi.
wine. I know that. Whenever Heath's poured me some wine, it was something that I remembered, and I'm like, oh, he's got taste. He's got
Well,
taste.
hand selected through LA Cellars, which is Kevin
Wow.
Jones. We'll have
Hmm.
Bertha Mae's brownies and cookies there. So we want to open this up to our next gens, ages
Mm.
30 to 45 within the family run business, family office sector. Please apply to register.
Amazing. And then we got this is I believe this one is one of Heath's brainchilds here. Wine Wednesday then's coming up. Yes.
Yes, yes. And this is one of my favorite events.
Oh
It's been
yeah.
around, what did we say, 17 years on one of the
Yeah.
podcasts? We
Yeah. Yeah.
said
Yeah.
17
It's been
years.
a bit. Hmm.
And we curate the guests. So if
Mm,
you are an approved guest, you know that we've hand selected 3 or 4 other attendees to
mm,
complement you attending.
mm,
Plus, you bring a bottle of very high level wine, usually $45 and above.
hmm.
And then they open up the wines selectively, and you get to taste it throughout the evening. And
Mm,
it's just one of my favorite events. I mean, if I'm in Culver City, and I head to
hmm.
Calabasas, you got to know it's one of my favorite events. And that
Yeah.
is Wednesday, September 25th, 5:30 p.m. If you're interested in attending, please let us know. Again, I stand corrected. The bottle of wine is worth at least $50. You can bring your favorite wine. One
Hmm.
of my favorite locations is the Chapelet Winery in Napa, where it's a family run winery. And I have bought at least 3 cases,
Mm,
and we will highlight. I will usually bring a bottle to Wine Wednesday to open
yeah.
and share. And we have an upcoming event, which I'll share in October at Chapelet Winery in Napa when we go on our next podcast for October. So stay tuned.
I'm loving this. And then is this one new? Because I don't remember this may have been there in the past, but I don't recall it. But it's just such a great name. And again, this is another podcast name, Women in Deal Making. It's amazing. Like what where how this is this a new first off, is my memory, memory is a thing, it goes. Am I off or is this like a new series? Because it's great. It looks great.
So one of our favorite partners that we
Hmm.
have that has supported us within our family office events
Hmm.
now for about 6 years.
Wow.
Originally, when we were supporting Family Office Association with Angelo Robles, Angelo used to host his events at the downtown Nixon Peabody offices, downtown LA. So
Mm,
we would get together for an all-day breakout sessions, wine event on the patio up on, I think it's like the 20th floor. And they came
hmm.
to us and said, could we partner with you? Would you be willing to support some of our events? And I said, absolutely. They're
Mm.
such a great resource for our family offices and our family run businesses
Yeah.
and our investors that this, like, come on, Women in Deal Making Roundtable in
Yeah.
Boston. So we have a lot of different events that we share theirs. This one is very important to our ecosystem. So if you're
Mm.
interested in attending, please come to Boston. It is an in-person event,
Hmm.
and go to our website to apply, but they have a list of events.
Hmm.
So stay tuned for an event that we want to create specifically for them in 2025.
It's greatness. And then let's see, moving towards, wait a minute, did we get one more? Wait a minute, I don't want not missing this one. Come on, the Family Office Roundtable. That's a staple. That one's a staple.
That it is a staple. So
Hmm.
another
San
amazing.
Diego. Yeah.
We're launching them in San Diego. So Eisner Amper
Yeah,
has
that's
been a,
new. It was new. It
they've
was
been a, yes, you're right. See, you got a great memory.
I
What
got
are
a
you
memory
talking
on these
about?
things, Kathleen. And we're only like 5 episodes, 6 episodes into our season. Wait till we're on 50. You're gonna be like, what? How does this guy know
What?
this stuff?
Well, I love it. I love it. So we typically will do about 4 events, LA, and 4 events, San Francisco. We
Hmm.
hand select the attendees. We typically have a speaker. This is sponsored and supported by Eisner Amper. And Michael Morris over there, Dan Kraus over there, they have been really big supporters of ours. They've now included some of their other partners, and we are launching the San Diego Family Office Roundtable. We're excited
Hmm.
because it's lunch, it's conversations. We will have a speaker. The speaker
Hmm.
is going to be speaking on AI. Her name is Barbara Bickham. She is one of my favorite experts. She speaks all over the world, and you and her rubbed
Hmm.
elbows at Milken because she did her podcasts all through Milken the last 3 years. She
Come
is
on.
incredible. Yes, yes. So
That's what I
please, if
like
you're
to hear.
she said she saw you and you were doing, what does she say? You were doing your thing. You were
Don't-
just owning it. And
We
that's
just
a
all do it. I'm sure she was too. If you make it into that room, you're doing something because it's not easy. But I'm happy for her and her show as well. Do you know what her show's called by any chance? Definitely love to give her a shout out if you happen to know, or just her name one more time.
It's Barbara Bickham, and
Mm.
if you go to Trailin Ventures, you can go on
Mm.
the website. She does have a couple different podcasts that she does. What
Yeah.
we'll do is we'll do a highlight next month and share a little bit more about her different podcasts that
Yeah.
she does.
Oh, you
But
know, we should start doing, I think, look, on the fly, we just made this up. Kathleen, you have all of these amazing partners that come on. You know what you can do? You can invite one on if you wanted to. That's what we should do and have them say a minute or two as a guest. We can bring on another guest. This is our show together. We could easily do
I
that. That'd be
would
so
love
fun.
that, and I think the community would love that. And
Yeah, because we're always
I
talking about like crossbeam. We're talking about all these things, but it's like they're not ghosts. They're not scared to talk. Bring them on. And we can all three be on here. And then and if they don't want to hang around as the monkey business is going on, they can drop off, but or
sounds
not.
good.
We'll see.
Let's do that. Let's do that for October. Let's bring on a special
Yeah.
guest, and I have an idea. So I promise you I'll
See,
share
I
that.
told you that this show is just going to keep growing and growing and
Stay tuned, listeners. Don't miss a beat.
Oh, that's so much fun. So, all right. So we went through the majority of the calendar for this particular month. And next month, just so you know, everybody, of course, Kathleen is going to be coming back onto the show. And I mean, she has events in Denver and Beverly Hills, Miami. Oh, we got Outbound Investment Summit in Miami, a Power of Art. We got Las Vegas. We got Napa County. So there's a whole lot more. And then one more that I want to make sure that we definitely bring up while we're here is the Original Mixer, which is going to be coming up in January, I believe. And that's one of the staples. I mean, that's what I look forward to every single year as the Original Mixer series. Talk to me a little bit about that one.
So in the past, we've talked a little bit about opulence and my
Hmm.
good partners and amazing brothers. I used to say that they're my bodyguards, Heath Goldman and Brian
Hmm.
Rabinovitz. Brian is the founder of the Original Mixer over 17 years ago. And
Yeah.
15 years ago, he invited me to support this incredible event. And I'm honored and privileged. It's such a labor of love. And with Heath and Brian and I, at the same event with 150 to 250 people. We do this 3 times a year. We were
Mm.
going to have it in October, but they accepted that I wanted to move it into January to make it
Yeah.
more of a celebration.
Hmm.
So we've talked a little bit in the past that this was going to be in October, but please be patient with us. We are launching it for 2025 on January 30th, Thursday,
Hmm.
and you'll get to see Brian of Markham and Heath of Icon Wealth and Legacy Partners. And we just do such an incredible job of putting these great people together. 25 exhibit tables. You get to share more about it. We're sharing wine, sake, sushi, candy, cookies,
Dang. Wine,
you
sake,
name it.
sushi. You had me at the first three. Come on.
Every table is different. And
Hmm.
I don't think I've ever gotten a negative comment about this event in the last 17 years. Maybe people are worried about how slow it gets through valet, but when you've got over 200 people coming,
Mm.
all I say is take private transportation. You'll get right in, and we look forward to seeing you in January. If you're interested and want to
Mm.
sponsor your own table, if you're interested in getting involved, please, we've got the registration already up, or send me a private email and I'll get you involved in this incredible event. And please, Adam, I would love the podcast to come
Hmm.
in January
Oh,
and
I'm
be
coming. I'm
there.
recording. That's happening. Like I know for sure I'm coming. Last time we went, we weren't quite ready yet, but I have an entire new setup for that. And specifically, even the headset that I'm wearing right now, we got this after the Original Mixer. So I used other microphones and things like that weren't necessary. They were good for in studio, but after that, now we've been on the road. There's a whole new setup specifically to do in-person conferences and things like that because we want to go and we want to cover. So that's not
But
just lip service. I'm there. It's on my calendar. We're
good.
gonna have some fun.
We're shaking on it. Nobody can see it, but we're shaking on it.
I'm in. I'm in. It's on the calendar. It's done.
Love
Well,
it.
well, Kathleen,
Thank
this
you.
has been, first off, thank you for coming back on the show. This has been a great monthly update, and I'm glad. Hey, we made everybody listening. This is a work in progress. We got our own episodes coming out, and now we're going to be bringing on some guests. I'm excited. We're going to have some guests coming on too, and give us some shout outs too as we go through the calendar. So, any last words on your end, Kathleen?
I always say when I close out events, this has been incredible. These events would not be successful. These podcasts wouldn't be successful if it wasn't for the listeners and the guests at our events. But I always say, please try to pay it forward, do something kind to one another, make a difference. And we're happy to see you at our next event. And I look forward to joining you in October at our next podcast.
Dang, Kathleen, I need to have you do all my outros. Mine are just like, hey, thanks for listening and hit subscribe or follow. No. Yours are so good and heartfelt. All right. And to the audience, I still am working that in there. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe or follow because this is a daily show. So each and every day we're releasing new content and bringing you new stories to hopefully inspire you along the way in your journey as well. So again, hit those buttons. And Kathleen, looking forward to our next episode and the next guest.
Thank you so much, Adam. See you soon.